Okay, let's get this show on the road, okay? Let's do it. This is the day of its release, but you know, I had to work, and I wanted to get my sleep because this was going to be a longer day. And I'm glad I did, because now it's days off, you know what I mean? So it's chill, it's vibes. It's 9 o'clock now. Blue Rev, Alvvays. I'm wondering how this is going to be. Because of my relationship to their music. First off, it's been 5 years since they released an album. Obviously, too, I find there's a cool connection with them, just them, you know, hailing from Toronto, you know, living like an hour away from Toronto for the vast majority of my whole life, and not really having much other indie groups, like indie rock groups, to really take that. I'd say Broken Social Scene, but that did come before me. Like, I wouldn't have been growing up alongside that, knowing that shit's happening. I found out about them, actually, because I was seeing them live. In 2015, when they played at Way Home, that was one of the, first people I saw live there. Like, second or third artists I saw there on that Friday. So I do remember that, and at that point they only had one album at the time. And I gotta be honest, or this is how I feel at least about their last two albums, but they really do kind of have that perfect sound of commercial indie music. Very light, jangly noise to it. I was never a front-to-back album person with the debut one, but I knew a good handful of the songs. Coming back to them recently, I do think I prefer that debut compared to Antisocialites, but coming back to Antisocialites, I'm messing with it for sure. Just speaking off of the fact that in 2017, I was very harsh on this album. I wasn't really big on this album. The song In Undertow and Dreams Tonight, those two singles off there, I love those songs, but it was just not really connecting with me. I feel I feel differently now, but I haven't. It's not high up or strong in that sense. Regardless, I've listened to too much music in my life. You know what I mean? So sometimes if it doesn't stick, it doesn't stick. I don't have all the time in the world to continue on with that. But regardless, I'm excited for this one. I haven't listened to any of the singles. A little bit of a longer project. Just a little bit longer than their other ones, but there's more tracks, so I guess these are going to have shorter tracks on average, but it's kind of weird, right, for them to have this career for almost a decade, right, based off of two albums that are very, you know, not many tracks that are in there, so it's very easy to just listen to their whole discography, you know what I mean? There's not this huge back catalog that you need to catch up on, if this is the first time you're hearing of them now. But let's go into this. Chill vibes. Noisy, shoegaze ass here, okay? That noise really hits you. Drums, I can feel the drums though. The vocals are just kind of sucking out of that noise, right? Very soft, just very pleasant. Kind of power pop element of the guitar here at the end. Pharmacist. This is a nice song. Nice song, very noisy, but not noisy in a chaotic sense. It's very blissful, okay? But at the same time, with this bliss, it's still fast-paced, still frenetic. I love the way it hits my body. I love the way it does it, okay? Wasn't fully paying attention lyrically, but we can read through that a little bit if it's necessary. But vocally, I think it's very nice, very clean, very cute. 2 minutes, literally just hitting down the 2 minute mark, a little bit over. Ooh. I know you're back. I saw your sister at the pharmacy picking up. Said you had that new love glow. Now that you're here, I want to wake up on the right side looking back. Okay, before we get further into the lyrics, so discussing some friend returning, finding out through their sister, You have a new love glow. So there's something about you now because of, you know, your love life. You know, something romantic occurring in your life has certainly changed your outlook or the way that you're acting on a daily basis. Okay. You want to wake up on the right side looking back. So all I know is that now that you know this person's back, you are thinking about the future. Or sorry, well, you are thinking about the future, but you're thinking about what the future is going to be in a positive, like optimistic way, because it stems back from thinking about the positive things that happened in the past. But then you say, yeah, getting out of neutral, new track. You know what happens all the time? It's all right. I hear it happens all the time. We volunteered. Local center off the highway, Nicorette. Those girls are older now. So these girls that you were taking care of, I guess, in a way, like this volunteering. So you bonded through some experience, I guess, is what you're saying. Some experience that also was, you know, potentially life-altering for younger people. You know what I mean? Like you were the future that's behind, you know, younger than you. And then you say, I know I never crossed your mind is what it ends with. So this is a very fast-paced song. It wants to apply the sense of nostalgia that comes when someone from your past comes back in, and then there's some sort of fear or anxiety about this connection or relationship, especially you thinking or worrying that you're the only one who cares about it. This person doesn't even think about you, they don't give a fuck about you. So very weird way to start this album, but it kind of sells that sort of angst that you'd want in indie rock music, I think. So I think that sells for me. That's shoegazy. Bass sells on this one already. Yes, please. I know right out the gate that I like this song more. I felt like there were so many different vocal moments where I was really like, wow, she's really selling on this emotion here. It's not as fast-paced or as just stuck in like a noise element. Like that's what you're really focused on. I think the bass takes more presence. The drums take more presence. There's cute little guitar elements that come in and out here. Yeah, but right away, I will say these songs, these first two, and maybe I need to go back and focus a little bit more, but the last two albums, I feel like there's more of a joyful nature coming through right away. Here, it seems like there's, I'm not saying like it's sad, emotional, but it just seems like it's much more in its feels, just in some feels. Okay, let's see what this is. I dropped out. College education's a dull knife. If you don't believe in the lettered life. I don't actually know what the lettered life is. I've never heard that used before. So what does lettered life mean? Lettered life is educated. Okay, so I found out what that means. And burn out before you can get paid. So, okay, Roy's crawling in monochromatic hallways. Okay, let me see here. Monochromatic hallways. Oh, I see. Like a very boring, dull. It's very dull. Dream about burning down all day. Okay, so this person is not happy. You know what I mean? Like, they're not happy. It seems like they have some sort of, like, happiness, but it seems like to be coming out of, like, the intense situation they've put themselves in. You know what I mean? Like, they put themselves in a very intense situation. And they don't really know how to feel. Like, is this really what's going to work out for me? In a way, I just, you know, you are kind of worried about your future. Like, you may have made a decision that's reckless too early is almost what it's feeling here. But again, it's you made this decision to get out of this dull nature, to find some, you know, I don't know, something out of the dull nature. Okay, but then you say, like, pull a 180, like, turn back around, basically. If you don't like it, well, say it's over. While weekends alone, ever lay back and watch the sunrise, ever hear violence in your mind. But then saying, like, does it get easier on your own? But then it seems like there may be a relationship involved in this. Again, it almost feels like the problem with this relationship is because of, like, they're going separate ways. This, like, you know, a youth, like, I almost feel La La Land vibes, just in the sense of, like, when they both have to separate because they're going different ways, right? They're thinking differently about life now. But then, I don't know, does it get easier on your own? And you almost feel like you regret being with this person alone just because it wasn't a forever thing. So, weird. But I enjoy this. It's got energy that I'm enjoying. Okay? Go to the next track here. Breakup has happened now, maybe? I don't know. Bruce Springsteen, a little bit of hardcore nature, fast-paced, new wave guitars. This song too. I think the guitar really sells it for me. It's just very jabbing into you throughout. Very fast paced, very intense. It never really stops. You know what I mean? Like, I like that though. I think it works. Again, these songs are already relatively short. And then, wow, though, when it goes into that little slow moment where the piano starts, it's so unexpected because you feel like it's just like it's continuing to ramp up, and to be cut off from that is quite an interesting decision to make. I enjoy that though. And then we get like a little bit of there's like another like fast-paced demo that seems like it's going into something a little bit rougher. Yeah. Okay. Lyrics. After the earthquake, pictures hanging diagonally. So after the breakup, things are not like as they were. You know what I mean? Things are a little bit on edge, or you know, it needs to be fixed, right? Drive through crying in a milkshake. I think that one's interesting. An interesting line, like a milkshake. I'm assuming something to be cheering you up, like you're trying to put yourself in a situation to do something that you enjoy, or but you know, you're still pretty sad. You were playing with the station and I was fidgeting with the heat. Keeping your mind off of each other. You know what I mean? Like, that's a very interesting setting to put. Yeah. Looking back to the vibrant days of racket in the hall. Vibrant days of racket in the hall, caution to the breeze, so you'll climb your way out of your wake now. So it was a noisy, fast-paced relationship in a way, I'm assuming. Like, that's sort of the imagery it wants to bring. Climbing your way out of your wake now. You're like escaping the eventual death of the relationship, maybe. But you only said they would, right? Flowers at your feet. Flowers on the ground at your feet. It almost seems like, I don't know. I'm thinking in the sense of like when you're giving flowers to people in a romantic relationship, but if they're on the ground at your feet, that's sort of a different imagery, I suppose. You'll contemplate how you're weighed down. Weighed down. So this person also feels like if there's a problem with this relationship, it's not because of one person, or I don't know, at least based off of what they're saying, because they want to think things through. You know what I mean? Like they want to think about the problems in their relationship, or feeling inadequate because of certain ways of treatment. Okay. The awful things I said at the edge of your bed. Also the brake light. If you wake up, will you remember the awful things I said at the edge of your bed? Interesting. So already in the situation, in the pulse of the brake light, like still discussing the being in a car. And thinking back to a memory, but it almost seems like if you wake up, will you remember? Like I'm thinking that this is after, because next time that they fall asleep and then eventually wake up, they're not together anymore. So thinking of a situation past the relationship where thoughts will be stuck on, like, it's not going to be like, okay, we broke up and now we just have good memories. Like worried about like still having some sort of sense of judgment. Like even if we're not going to be together anymore, I hope your understanding of what happened, like you can put that stuff that I don't like it that I did in the past. Those days I'd never let you fall apart, but things fade like the scent of a brand new car. Again, bringing car imagery again, right? Discussing the past. A lot of already these songs discussing the past. It's certainly a way that she's deciding to write. Things aren't like the past, though. Apparently in the past she was able to, fix any situation, or at least that's what it felt, right? But it's fading like the scent of a brand new car. I'm not sure if the car that they're in is new, but at least discussing things like the scent of a new car is really good. But you can't have that forever. But you wish you could. But I feel like a relationship's a little bit different, but sort of that, in that state of knowing that it's not like that anymore. Like it's not, yeah. So I understand. Pretty emotional song. Just reading the lyrics and not listening to it with the song, like actually understanding what it's about later. I don't feel the whole, like, experience of it, but again, or not again, but this doesn't really seem to be worrying full on about storytelling in a way. It's really about just the emotion being a part of the song. But okay, this breakup seems pretty messy right now. It's not really based, like, you're fresh in the breakup. That's what the song really sounds like. Like, it's not like, okay, we're broken up and shit, this was happening. You're fresh in. little song. Once again, really working on the guitar. Very noisy track still. These songs are very noisy. Drums, I felt like I didn't feel like it had like a specific force that I was messing with, but again, it just feels like it's keeping some sort of pace that you can be stuck in. Okay. Lyrically, what's happening? Looking back, I should have known all the nights that I spent out in space. If in fact I had said no, what becomes of this? It's hard to say. Almost suggesting that there was many nights in this relationship, I guess, where you weren't even in the headspace you were supposed to be, but you weren't paying attention to the fact that headspace probably meant that it wasn't like real enough. Almost is what I'm kind of seeing here. But again, you are saying that it'll be better knowing that that's the past. It's, you know, it can be in the past. You know, your future is certainly brighter. Cigarettes and old regrets piled in a stack out in the back of my brain. So the thing is that the things that are bugging you from the past are still there. They're still there, and they just sit there. It's so in a way you saying like you can't wait until that shit is in the past. At the end of the day, you are very much so holding on to it. But I don't know what this like timeline is between the songs too, right? Like we just had the song where it seemed very fresh, so it feels like you're only just trying to get yourself out of this. You're not letting the process happen naturally, it almost seems. And you can see that when you have to like talk about it in this way, I think. I put my money on a horse who won't be steered on any course or lane, and if I ever see a dime, you would take that money to divide and separate. When I see like I put my money on a horse, it seems more like you're gambling on your life. Like that's what you're trying to say. Like you're gambling on your life, and you're not really, you don't have like a specific goal there, or like some specific finish point. But it seems like you're gambling on yourself. You feel as if this person's going to exploit that situation. You know what I mean? Like get too involved with it in a way. Okay, and then suggesting that this person's going to come back in the rain. In the rain being that like emotional, like it's in a movie. Glowing like the first night, telling me you've changed. So in a way, this person is able to tell you you've changed, and because of these past emotions you've had, you kind of fall back into what it first felt like there, right? And then, you know, that when you walk away, it's going to be for good. So you still seem very final about this relationship. Yeah, you do feel final about this relationship, but you're not fully letting go yet. It's as simple as that. This is very spiffy. Very smooth, very there's a little bit of like intense vocals that come out, and then there's some anger, but there's some confidence here, right? I feel like I've been stuck in a mood here where there's first of all, the first song is very soft, very nice. Other songs, there's a little bit more of this like pitying of oneself in the way that it's being sung. Here, there's some confidence that's striking out here. So let's see what this is about. His stride is lengthened by his sense of wonder. Okay, so someone is rolling their eyes and walking away from you. And this person seems to be just more living a better life than you. Not in the sense of like what is happening to them, but just their outlook, just the way that they're thinking about things. A sense of wonder, you know what I mean? You're coming into experiences in life with senses of wonder. And you are not, basically, is what you're saying. Not long ago you held me on the banks of rolling Oz. Not long ago you read to me pedantic poetry and I would smile. Yeah, okay. So now saying this too, and if I could retrace it, I'd match the steps we took to, merely recreate it, lie to myself, everyone else, don't forget. So, you, in the next song, again, you're already saying, like, if you're going to leave, like, leave for good. But, and you are also talking about, like, wanting to, like, forget this situation. But now, you're going, like, you know, it wasn't that long ago where things were great, though. Like, you were doing all these great things. Again, you're discussing these things that they're doing for you in a selfish manner. Let's be real. Just in the way of, like, you're missing having that enjoyment, that pleasure that came from those things. You know what I mean? Like, so much that it's like you kind of like aren't putting the why did we break up in the first place in this situation. You're literally romanticizing the feeling that came in that moment, right? And thinking back to like recreating something, recreating that whole relationship, it's lying to yourself. You mean? So, like, just being able to, like, yeah, I don't even... like, after a breakup, you're just like, yeah, you know what? I don't give a fuck anymore. This sucks. Like, I'm just gonna, like, pretend. Like, there's a sort of pretending occurring. Okay. I waver in the night, toss, turn 11 times, and I want to apologize for something I'm not sorry for. Mind racing over time. Turns out all my friends were right, and I won't apologize. Okay. The cocktail's overpriced. I'll do my best to keep things light. I like that line. Okay, because now this outro, we're still seeing it. It's her now. You know what I mean? Like, beforehand, it's like, okay, my problems are, like, in this relationship, but, like, now that the relationship's over, it's just me. I can't have problems with that person anymore. It's done. I'm sitting with the problems. You know what I mean? It's not the relationship anymore. It's, like, my tackling this situation. But then going into this cocktail of overpriced, I'll do my best to keep things light. It's, like, I'm assuming this person is with their friends after the breakup and you're trying to get your mind off of it, but you're still in a negative headspace, right? So that's why you're going, like, this cocktail is overpriced, and that's what you're thinking about. But at the same time, you're almost in this negative headspace too, because you're, like, repressing to, like, make sure you're not throwing things in your friends' faces, okay? I like this album so far, not gonna lie. Again, I have never went in depth for their albums because I just... doing reactions like this, it gives me the time to want to be interested in that. Just taking my time, just relaxing with the project. It depends. But tracks 1 to 5, I'm really getting an understanding of their personality and the emotions that were put into this. Very cohesive to get to track 5, I will say. Let's keep going. Liking it. Many Mirrors, I like this song. It's very cute. I felt like I was really hitting with the cymbals there. At the end of the day, I'm stuck in like just this chill jangle pop state. Now that we passed through many mirrors, I can't believe we're still the same. Now that we've passed through many mirrors, I can't believe we're still the same. I guess it's like how you look when looking in the mirror has changed. So you're saying your presentation's changed. You've grown up. Years have went by. Okay. That's my interpretation, at least. Light years away, and you've got so much life to offer, and you wild out of the place. You called me, someone figured it out before you. That's all really that's in the lyrics here. It's like a lot of repetition, but many ways switching around when those lines kind of come out. But it almost feels like you are trying to call this person out. Like, you obviously admire this person a lot, but it feels like you are kind of sad that you don't get the credit you feel you deserve for the care that you had for this person. I don't know full on, but it's a good song. Do I like Very Online Guy? Yeah, I think it's a very cute little track. 2 minutes, I still feel like it takes you on a structure of change. Or not just on sound alone, but just like storytelling musically or instrumentally. What are they trying to get into here? He's a very online guy. He likes to hit reply. He's incredibly vigilant. So this person's very online. Very in control or very intense. Like their presence is very known to everyone. And it seems like everyone's aware of what they're doing. Okay. Leave your location on, just follow the buzz. He's only one filter away. He's only one follow one filter away. Okay. He's incredible. He's incredibly animal. I kind of like that line. It's like almost taking them out of this, like, you know, us using social media like crazy, because it's a common thing enough, right? Not suggesting it's human, but suggesting, looking at it as if it's a part of our as being an animal, as part of our nature. I almost feel like you just are obsessed with this person's presence online, right? Like, so even you saying, and again, this is just me and my own definition, or I kind of like it this way, but saying we all know everything that he says and does, it's like, you know, even though this person may be present all the time, you can swipe past someone's thing and not really have a thought, you know what I mean? Or like those 3 seconds, that's it, you know what I mean? But we process shit so fast when we're on social media sometimes, but you know what I mean? You're spending the time to really understand this person's presence. And then going into the next line that you say when things switch up, the truth is I'm afraid of sudden change. Breakup being a change, I guess. But let's read in further, because maybe I'm just being an idiot. But when you're close to me, does anyone notice? But when you're close to me, does anyone notice? Why does it matter if someone notices? Right? Why are you worried about that? Life disintegrates what it was supposed to be. The truth is I'm afraid. So you find, like, you don't know what to think about your life or what it means anymore to you. Truth is I'm afraid to turn away, but when you're ghosting me, does anyone notice? But when you're ghosting me, does anyone notice? Interesting. So you feel like you don't exist to this person, though, but you're, again, okay, this sucks. I don't know if this is really what the person you're talking about, but at least this person that you are talking about is not giving you the time of day when emotionally you're giving a lot. At the end of the day, you wrote a song about it, so. This one is very cute. A little bit of you feel the guitar sound for sure on this, but then there's a little bit of a synth element that kind of connects it sound-wise to that last song, and I do think that's an interesting pathway to go. That's tracks 7 and 8. So slightly in that halfway point, so changing up sound. So just saying that track listing wise, it works that way, okay? What's happening here? First off, you're already talking about this person saying they're getting fit. You can't make sense of it. So again, if you're talking about you can't make sense of this person getting fit, it's because of your own insecurities, right? And no judgment, you know what I mean? Like, life be like that sometimes. You feel like you are falling behind. You're comparing yourself to your ex just in ways that obviously are unnecessary, because what is it doing for you? It just hurts you. That's it, right? And of course, then you go into the chorus of who is she, because I know that it can't be me. Ooh. So now that this person's with someone too, and I'm assuming you aren't in a relationship, just by the way that it's talking, like it can't be you because you're not with that person, or I don't know, maybe you could be in a relationship, but if you are, I don't know, you weren't over this one person to really be in it, I guess, but whatever. Damn though. Damn. A closet full of lace acquired recently. Who has that closet full of lace? Is it you or this person? Interesting. But then you say this, right? Like, you're like, why would I try to stoop to a level of shitting on this person you're with? Like, why would I want to be like, oh no. But then you say, is she a perfect 10? Have you found Christ again? But it seems like the way you say it is very snobby, or very like, you are pissed off. Damn. We used to tell each other everything, and now we're passing ships at night that are it's just as quiet. I'm assuming this is how I feel, quiet, and they just pass, and there's nothing to be said, or maybe not even an indication of seeing each other. You know that you see each other, but you just let it go. I don't know. You used to tell each other all the lies in a fairly civil way. Okay, you are not happy though. I will say, we're getting into this song now. and you are not happy by any means. Already was track 7, if this is still about this person, showing an obsession, and then that obsession kind of getting, I would say, worse because of this person being with someone else. Okay. This one, I feel like once again we're getting a song which some nice strong vocal hits on this one, very coming on out there. Ooh, very nice album. I just seem very in it right now. Lyrically, I'm like I don't know. I'm not strong in the concept anymore. I feel like getting onto track 9, I think 9 or 10. 9. Even though there's something tight here, I will say it's not showing intense layers. It's sort of, I would say, I'm feeling much more like this is a generalized way to discuss relationship. Maybe there's only like certain type of imageries I think that she would decide to use for that, but it's not like an insane criticism. I'm just saying. At night, I pace the floors, tile by tile, step by step, till I reach a wall. Okay, no, till I reach a wall. So you're just pacing till you kind of can't think anymore. You can't think your way out of something. No use in fortune, I try wholeheartedly, but still end up on your lawn. I'm still waiting on my invitation. I shouldn't have ever gone in the truck. The whole ride, writing in your condensation, I shouldn't have ever been calling it love. Damn, you're really going in it now, right? Like, you were already pissed off about the situation beforehand, but now you're kind of discussing, like, you're just straight up going, like, I was lying to myself. And you may have been saying you're lying to yourself because if you weren't sure if this was love, how do you know if you've really felt love? You know what I mean? Or I don't know your past relationships. I don't know if there were certain layers or certain other definitions there. But again, regardless, you were certainly still trying to discover that part of your self. Interesting line too, a kind of a comedic line, the take calls from telemarketers in hopes of hearing your drawl. So again, this is also suggesting that you don't have this person's number anymore. So, but how do they have your number? I don't know. Because if you were with this person for however long, you would remember it. So they must have changed it or something, right? You're still combing through misconnections. Ooh. Because this shit didn't work out. Now you're thinking about all those little people you've had crushes on or something that just never happened, and you're like, fuck. Like, that could have been better. Like, I don't even know. Right? So I think that's an interesting angle. But then, yeah, you say, I'm out here swimming in the wrong direction. Which, yes, you are. In a way. It depends, too. Like, if you think this can be a part of your healing process, or, again, too, if you're doing this, it's because of, yeah, there's just a sense of fear, I guess. You know what I mean? But, I don't know. Again, this situation, you're just like, you're in your head. And again, and now you're saying that you were calling them. So you waiting for their call. At this point, you gave up about that situation. Shit. And then I'm still waiting is what you're saying. So I shouldn't have ever been called in love, and then I'm still waiting. I don't know if there may be some sense of optimism, but I still feel like you're in this state of, you don't know how long it's going to be. So, shit. Cool. I really like that one. That one really sells for me lyrically, I think. Okay, let's keep going. Not really hitting me as much as I'd want to. I barely felt that one listening to it. Still think it was pretty good. Fun, very punky energy. Okay, what can the lyrics show us? Mine should have been mine. Had I just said something if I wasn't polite, stuck my hand, grabbed it, and ran. Something should have been yours. Maybe this person you're talking about. If you weren't polite and you stuck out your hand, grabbed it, and ran. So if you just took what you want, you didn't try to play nice. I don't want to belong. I'm not nodding along. Don't care if I'm wrong. This person's went AWOL. Woke up in the rain, woke up in a sweat now. You're living in a condo and you want to forget there was a time when someone could have said you can't recreate all the things that are red. Glass slipper never fit it. Okay, so your situation is weird. Again, the same glass slipper couldn't have fit it, and already saying something, you wanted something to be yours, and you felt like if you just went for it, and you didn't try to, like, do it in like, your way, a way that just seems respectful, I guess, is what you're suggesting. And, I don't know, it seems like you're just sort of mad at the world now. Like, you're just like, no. Like, I'm not doing what you want me to do now. Like, I'm really sticking to who I am because things just, like, didn't work out. You know what I mean? This is a part of my frustration. Don't ever ask me to know which dress is she going to wear, what's to be done with her hair. I don't know. This is a very interesting song. So, yeah, you're still taking a while to get over this situation. I heard you ask me to smile. Detour right up the road. If this is the same person, then I guess you're just, like, pissed off, you know what I mean? Like, you're like, nah, like, we don't have that anymore, like, and then, yeah, again, this which dress she's going to wear, what's to be done with her hair. So now you're feeling like, or you're connecting this situation where, like, what you're asking me to do, or what you're worrying about, is not me. That is an outer appearance that is, you're basically defining what that outer appearance means. It's not based off of, like, who I am. And so you're kind of pissed off about that situation, at least. Because now, you know, you're like, I wanted this, but I'm being viewed as this. You know what I mean? Like, don't put this label or definition on me, right? I'm already in a bad situation. You know what I mean? Like, trying to control how I'm viewed, or trying to control my future, and you are taking that away from me, in a way. And then putting this person, or saying about this person that, taking your foot off the brake, right? And then putting your foot on the brake. and then So like, you just suggesting that this person's going to be in this constant back and forth state like is very strange to me. Life, I'm just thinking about this in a situation of like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. Life's like that, right? Life can't forever be in one's pacing like that, really. So I'm not fully sure what this person's trying to say. Unless you're just saying that this person's isn't gonna have like this settling down, or isn't really gonna find this certain sense of clarity, if that's what you're discussing. I don't know. Still a great song. Nothing too crazy to say here. I think it's giving me the same emotion that other tracks have. I think that's why I had problems with Antisocialites the first time. It's not really being able to really strongly feel a differentiation, like I wanted to feel a differentiation, right? So, but I enjoy the song still. Let's get into the thing lyrically again. Twangy nature, hero guitar. That's probably what's shining the most. Can't explain my ankle sprain, I didn't really feel it. New dress could turn your head, but how long till we reel it in? New dress could turn your head, but how long till we reel it in? Okay, so how long until you can actually get this person's attention? You don't think you could fully get this person's attention. But something happened that you didn't really feel. Not ankle sprain, but I'm assuming this is more of an emotional pain. Can't explain your emotional state, or something happening there. Like you kind of avoided processing that, maybe. That's how I kind of read that. Paradise, and I find myself paralyzed knowing all too well. Blue Rev behind the rink, I didn't really need it. That's a drink, okay. You call collect to see if I would keep it. Keep like a child, okay. Okay, now you're moving to the country, gonna have that baby. Wait tables in town. So they want you to keep it, but you are, but it has nothing to do with them. You're like, nah, like you're not really there. See how it goes, see how it grows. I'll aggress to Inverness. Okay, so with nothing in your pocket. I'll get help, Paradise. I really want to know what that's trying to say. But at least I do see that this person is finding some hope, though. It's weird narrative, right? Like narratively, like now we're seeing this person who is struggling. Like there's like actual struggle here, but the struggle is coming with something that's so life-affirming, or something that feels like you really have a strong purpose. This child is giving you strong purpose. A strong purpose, too, because, you know, you actually want to give it a good life, you know, like see how it goes, see how it grows. But you're also doing this almost as like a message to this person who wasn't there to take care of it. You know what I mean? Like you I don't know, but it says something to you, or at least you feel a little bit more confident in yourself instead of being worried or stuck in your head about things. There's more of this sense of knowing within you, in a way, I'd say. And that's interesting. And again, you're already ending this song talking about starting another life. So I like this song. Very cute song, and I kind of like where this is leading narratively. Maybe these next few songs, let's see what they're about. bass runs this song. Cool. One thing I have to say about this song is when it's saying things lyrically, there seems to be a sense of cynicism, but like, you know, not full on holding on to those emotions. I feel like whenever we're getting the stuff with the relation stuff earlier, it's you're suffering in those feelings. Here it seems like you can kind of blow it off a little bit in comparison. If there's a fine, I'll pay it. Yeah, okay. If you're destroyed, I'll call another ride. So, if that's the games you're playing, let me know the rules and I will be alright. So, interesting. And then you say, like, you're always waiting. So, it seems like you're in some sort of state where you just want to get past things. You just want to get past things. But now, you getting past things isn't about, like, sitting in that thought process, that negative thought process. It's much more of, like, okay, I feel like I've done what I need to do mental-wise, healing, figuring things out. And I don't really want to play games anymore. I'll do what needs to be done. But then again, you keep coming into this sort of chorus of suggesting that you just seem to always have to be waiting. You know what I mean? You don't get what you want when you want it. When are things going to turn around? When is that going to happen for you? If there's a pill, I'll swallow. Gazing out the window, we could do it all. The sentiment will follow. If you're home soon, then we can leave tonight. So if you're home soon, we can leave tonight. So really saying like leaving as like starting this new journey for sure. You want to just start on this journey, getting on the last train and no one can stop me, getting on the last train no one can follow. I'm leaving in the fog. Okay, so like this person is leaving, and then once they're like leaving, right? Like you can't see where they're going now. You know what I mean? Like that future is unknown to you. It's not you can't figure it out. So very interesting. I don't know if this person taking that step, right, this main character taking that step, if it is supposed to be involving this person, because if it's not, right, it really is like okay, I have to give up on this, but you're still suggesting that you don't, like, you'll do what needs to be done. Okay.
Pretty quiet out here, it's abundantly clear that no one's been coming for me. Now that you're unwound, take another shot. Now that you're unwound, noises I can't
Great fucking track. Really one of my favorite ones here. Really selling it for me. Lyrically, let's see what we're getting into here, because we're starting off very pessimistic. But again, it seems like first song you're talking about like always waiting, right? Like you'll do anything. And now you're saying like, yo, like, okay, you're here now. Okay? Like, just do it already. Just do it. Okay? But okay, this is interesting too. To be saying like you're in a lucky position, lucky sevens and line, I'm riding the pine, I'm always be looking for ways to remember the something lottery noises. So there's a sense of luckiness. I don't know if the sense of luckiness is because this person's around, like you feeling that like the chances that are there. Like the probability, maybe that's why you're saying lottery, right? Like the probability here, like you may have, or maybe I don't know. Maybe you're saying you're winning the lottery because you thought it wasn't likely, but you got into the good side of winning there. I do find it interesting to kind of be going into this song now. It's just, it seems like there's a happier state that she's in, right? because there's a sense of getting over this other person, because you're really open to the situation. But at the end of the day, like the other song saying, like, you're just waiting. Here again too, you only just feel lucky because you feel like there's a possibility, there's a chance. You're close enough to this person now. Okay, quick little way to end this song, sort of balladry in a way. I don't know why, but it reminds me of that really sad song in Toy Story 2 with Jessie or whatever. I don't know. Shout out Toy Story 2. Okay, but you're now just suggesting that this person's still a part of you, and maybe that's why there's a hesitation. So maybe that other song you were talking about this person still. You know, like, you've gotten over this, like, pain that sort of came with it, but you're really feeling, like, there's some positive elements to this person. But you are saying that you're gonna take the photo out the fridge, like, you're going to move on, like, it's kind of for real now, but you're still waiting. Okay, what do I think about this album? First off, I'd have to go back to the other albums to really know if I ever got, like, there was better, right out the gate, better, like, poppier tracks, like, really standout singles, I think. But here, I think the concept's quite tight. The sound of this production of this is quite nice. I'm not getting, like, very memorable or things that are really sticking out right away on first listen, I'd say, which I felt without Alvvays before, like, I just have. But I'm really liking this. Want to give it an 8 right now. Don't really feel higher. Lower, I don't know, like 7.5 maybe, but not 7. But I think I like the concept of this enough. It's not anything deep, like the emotions are there, but not the, like, real story behind it, you know what I mean? So I really wonder if just the instrumental or, like, the energy that goes behind the songs, really paying attention to that narratively later, will make me kind of enjoy it more. But fun, it's good. One thing I will say is it just seems like Alvvays is doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? In the sense of album 1, 2, 3, I'm not seeing something that's really changing in the sense of sound. You know what I mean? Like, I still feel like it's not like this is really new in that way, but whatever. That's cool. I'm going to listen to it a few more times. Now I know how I feel. Okay, I listened to Blue Rev like 5 or maybe 6 times. This is the Saturday, and yeah, I do like this album. I do think it's really good. One thing I'm going to say beforehand is just my experience with the past albums, which I already did at the start of the video. You know, I was not that big on Antisocialites when it came out. Like, I wasn't really big on it. Like the singles, but I just felt bored. I was like, this is some nice jangly vibes, but I'm not really differentiating as much as I'd like to with the songs. To be honest, I still feel right now that their debut is a real big standout. Like, because I re-listened to both of those albums before really going to this one. That first one, like, 9 tracks there, like, I really feel there's a reason to sit in the vibe of each one. And with this album, I'm not really feeling that. I still like this, though, okay? This is still like an 8 out of 10. It's a very tight, noisy sound. This one, yeah, this is a little bit of a noisier album. We're relying on more of a shoegaze element instead of it being sort of jangly. You know what I mean? Like, you're really left in the noise with it. One thing I will say, or even compared to other shoegaze artists, new shoegaze artists, I guess, first thing that wants to come to mind is Paranoid, let's say, right? Paranoid is a little bit more hardcore, but really finding change in the melody in the backing, or like it really wanted to take you somewhere. You're not really going to find that here. It's much more about 3-minute pop noise like tracks, Keeping with just this sense of energy. Lead singer definitely trying to take control. Yeah, I don't know. Front to back. But this is the thing. I think there was enough tracks on here too where there's just selling hooks. There's selling hooks where you're like, fuck yes. Not every hook feels that way though. Or maybe if they do feel that way, listening to an album front to back here, I'm not always in that mood, or I'm not always feeling like, oh, I know that this is another track and I love this track for this reason. Just wanting like the sound to sort of stretch out a little bit, take me a little bit further. Yeah. And lyrically, it's fine, but, and again, I just compared to other albums I've heard this year, I feel like there could have been more substance to that degree. And there isn't substance to that degree. Like, there is substance, right? But I'm just saying that a lack of personality in comparison to others, which makes me want to give this an 8. And when I think about the albums I've given higher scores and going, wow, I really think front to back that album had said more. No, it's still fun though. It's still fun. Still worth the listen. I honestly think that this is one of those albums that, coming back to specific tracks, not within the album, will be a vibe. You know what I mean? A specific singular track, listening to it for the moment. The album front to back just doesn't sell as much as other ones. Yeah. Okay. And who knows if this will get higher? I think me giving it an 8 right now feels like pretty good, because Anti-Socialites was not at that extent. I don't even know what score I'd give Anti-Socialites still. But again, one criticism I'll have with this one too is the singles here do not sell as quickly as the other albums. How is it easy on your own though is one that I guess the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. If there's anything else you want to see me react to, anything at all, you put a comment down below, okay? Peace.